Hey, this is Darren with Big Daddy Scripts. I'm going to show you the Ambient Autos script. This is kind of a new, simple thing that allows you to spawn vehicles on the server that are just there no matter what. And I'll show you how that works. Basically, you could use it as a fleet tool. Like say here at the Polito station, I wanted a certain number of cars in the parking lot. And that's all the police cars they had. So I could spawn whatever I wanted here in the parking lot. Or you can use it to put cars in a car lot, or along the street, or at somebody's house, or if you're doing a special event, like we did a war event and we put helicopters and tanks in certain places. That's kind of what this is for. It ambiently spawns vehicles. And it's smart enough to know that once it spawns it, it keeps track of it. So it will not spawn it again unless that vehicle is gone or destroyed. You can set a timer. So every 15 minutes it checks to see if the vehicle still exists. And if it doesn't, it'll respawn it back in its original position. There are some uses for this, I think, and we have found several already. But let's show you how it works. I have created an editor that makes this way easier. There is a JSON file that you can edit by hand if you want that tells it what model to spawn and where to spawn it. But you can just do the edit and it comes up with this editor screen. Okay, so I want to spawn in an emergency vehicle. Let's just go standard police cruiser. And I'm going to park it right here. In a very terrible parking manner. And I'm going to open up the editor and I'm going to add a row. It will pre-fill in the model hash if it knows it. It will also give it a unique name, which it needs to be unique. It's kind of like the ID, so it can keep them separate. If you spawn multiple of one car, it needs to have a different name here. Whenever it's where you want it, you hit this button here and it'll fill in the coordinates for you. And you press save. So now, I will delete this vehicle. I'm going to use txadmin to refresh the files since I've changed the config file. And I'll use devmate to restart the script. That's one of the fabulous tools of devmate. And there it spawns it. And it will always spawn there. Now if I were to move it, over to here. And I run the command reambient, which will respawn anything that's missing. It is not going to respawn that vehicle over there in that spot because the vehicle still exists. Even though it's not in its spot, it knows that it's still here. So it won't respawn that. If I were to delete it and then run reambient, it'll spawn it back in its spot. And we can do multiple things. If we want to put what do we got? Yeah, let's put a okay, so we'll put a prism bus here. We'll go back to the vehicle editor, add a row, tell it we want it here, save it. Now this prism bus will spawn here every single time somebody spawns into the server if it doesn't exist. So it'll just make sure these vehicles exist in the server all the time. And if you set it on a timer, it'll make sure they continue to exist even if they get destroyed or deleted or whatever. And that's pretty much what this script does. And like I said, we used it for a special event where we had special vehicles spawn in certain places for people. There are many creative uses, I think, for it. And I hope that you find those for your fake world. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.
BigDaddyScripts.com